first I want to ask you about, just tell us how you are looking at the global economy right now.
Oh, well, I would tell you, it's very odd for me because there's such a bifurcation between sentiment, which is very, very negative around the world. And I say negative, I mean populist, but populism of the left, populism of the right. You see it reflected in the United States in the bitter election cycle. But you see it manifest around the world. You see it in Brexit, and you see the vote they have in Colombia, and the leadership in the Philippines, and in a way, and you see this manifest everywhere. There's a real negativity and a real negative sentiment. Now, the economy isn't supercharged, but if you just looked at the metrics and the numbers, especially in the United States, to say the least, it's not that bad. We're virtually at full employment. Energy prices are relatively cheap. Consumers, everything from the consumers to banks, big banks have deleveraged and are relatively well positioned. Earnings are soft. GDP at 2-ish is not as dramatic as it could be, but at the same time, it's not as bad as the sentiment would indicate.
How worried are you about this raging populism, this reaction against authority in so many areas, and the declining respect for the financial services industry, which is certainly not helped by the latest drama at Wells Fargo?
Well, let's say financial institutions might be a narrow little bullseye, but they're concentric circles of business in general. Institutions are in. I would say the most distressing thing to me is the lack of recognition of the legitimacy of other people's sense of the context and what to do, and people going to their representatives and getting a contractual commitment that they will stand firm on an extreme position and never compromise. How do you get anything done? How do you achieve without compromise? And if you did get something done, how do you achieve any legitimacy? Because if only the extreme, let's say if you had the vote from an extreme point of view, the next time government changes, the people who succeed you will have had no participation, won't regard it as illegitimate, and they'll spend every fabric of their being trying to reverse it. And we see that in the politics today. So I have to say, I am militantly moderate and militantly in favor of achieving a compromise such that if you didn't get everything you wanted, you'd get a lot of it. And by the way, this rhetoric today is, I'm a winner, you have to be a loser. Most things in life could be win-win. That's the nature of trade. It's the nature of political compromise. You're not sharing 100. You're sharing 140. And so everyone could get the bulk of what he or she wants. And not only that, have some confidence that it will sustain past the bruising battle.